All right.
You didn't have to have anything like that in the offseason.
Nothing done. We were clean.
Drew, how excited are you guys to get back and have a chance to put the feel you had last year at the end of the year behind you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could see it today. The energy's high. We're excited to be out there. It was a long off season, and it'll be a long kind of summer break. I think Coach said 42 days before training camp. So we're just excited to get the reps that we get. I think we have 1 week down this year on the OTAs compared to the past couple of years. So just excited to maximize our time out there.
Drew, with your contract in this offseason, it's obviously pretty clear that you wanted to come back for another year. Just wonder if you could speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, my agent and Veach had a lot of good conversations, and there were a lot of variables. Some family stuff. My wife having our fourth child, but they really did a nice job of kind of getting a win-win scenario for all parties, and definitely want to help this team bring a championship back here. We love it here.
Why so? Why was it important for you to be back here? What do you love about it?
I mean, I think I mentioned it, but there's a lot of variables. My family loves it here. I think familiarity, the coaching staff, the guys, you develop relationships in this league and you realize it doesn't last forever. And so when you have something special, I think you want to be a part of it. And, I certainly love our room. I love our coaches and love the guys in there. This place has become special to me.
Drew, you along with Nick are the leaders there at the second level. When you see the Chiefs take 4 defensive players to start the NFL draft, how excited are you and Nick to start molding these guys? I know not the same position necessarily, but just to add that.
Yeah, it's super exciting. They're talented players. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do and put in, but certainly losing some of our guys, this offseason, you talk about Mike Dana, Jay Watt, Trent, some of our defensive tackles. It was nice on draft day to see that we were reloading a little bit on the defensive side and getting those guys in there. Those guys are hungry, high-energy guys. They did a lot of study, obviously, on them, and you can see why they brought them here, in the first few days.
Just to follow that, Leo was incredibly unique. I guess, how do you replace maybe some of the things that he did?
I don't know that you can replace Leo. I think he's kind of one of one in what he can do. If you just throw on the tape, I mean, you can see all the different positions he lined up at for us. But they do a really good job here of kind of creating competition. And so obviously that Sam backer role is kind of up for grabs. And we got a lot of guys in our room competing hard for it. And they'll do some creative things. But, he's a great player, and Washington's definitely lucky to have him.
Specifically to Cooper and Jack and Jeff, what you're seeing out of their improvement, especially with a guy like Jeff 1 to 2, now at him, and then Cooper and Jack got a real shot at getting on the field a lot more often.
Absolutely. I mean, Jack's had an incredible start. I think he had an interception yesterday. Made some nice plays. Cooper as well. Jeff. I mean, you see these guys going from rookie year to the second year, and I can resonate a little bit with what they're feeling. This scheme is a lot at first. It's like drinking out of a fire hose, and so you can see kind of the calmness in their progression from year 1 to year 2. And so there's a lot of young energy in that room, and so it'll be a competitive few weeks here.
Drew, you mentioned relationships, and you're kind of in a unique one right now with Elodie Gilman. Started off in college, now your second professional team, and you're still following each other. What does it mean to you to still have that relationship from former college to now, and what is he bringing to the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, Lo and I have a special relationship, obviously dating back to Notre Dame, and he's one of those guys that out of a lot of guys I've played with, he's up there in terms of guys I have respect for. If you just look at kind of his journey to how he got here, specifically transferring from Navy to Notre Dame, and the transfer portal wasn't what it was now back then, and he had to sit out that year. And after sitting out the year, was still voted team captain in his second year at Notre Dame, having never played a snap on the field. I think it just speaks to his leadership. He's kind of like a magnet, and that guys kind of draw to him. I don't know what it is about him. I think he's got a swagger to himself in the way he plays, but he's also super intelligent and is kind of a leader of men. So I've always respected that about Lo, and he taught me how to surf when I was out with the Chargers. So, he's a Hawaii guy. But he brings a lot of energy, and he's going to be a great, great piece for our defense.
You mentioned trying to get this scheme. These rookies are in here. Any of them impressed you yet on their meeting rooms or the practice field that maybe surprised you?
I mean, you can see it along the line of scrimmage. I think, for me, it always starts in the trenches, and the addition of, Peter Woods and just seeing his tenacity, his get off and what he brings. our Mason Thomas and what he's bringing on the edge and his ability to dip and lean and get off the ball. We were messing around in the meetings today. Coach was like, I want to see George and our Mason lining up in a get off drill. I think he's got great get off. You talk about, Soar on the outside. I mean, had some great, reps yesterday in practice where he's just locking down, getting his hands on the ball. I think he had an interception as well. And so, a lot of young guys making plays, JC in the slot. And so these guys, we're going to need them, down the stretch. It's a long season, and they've got a long way to go, but I love their energy early on.
Couple more. You mentioned, the shorter OTA period. As the players, does that make a big difference, or, do you appreciate having that more time between the OTAs and 1 week shorter and time between that and camp?
If I've learned anything in this league, it's just you got to be able to adjust, and each year is different. And you got to be able to kind of mold your own routine and plan to whatever the year has given you. In the years past, it's been a shorter off season, and then it's been playing that first game of the season, so it's been reporting to training camp early. This year's a little bit different. Obviously, you get more time, you get more rest, you're able to fine-tune kind of the things you need to, and so I'll certainly take advantage of that personally.
I know you're not in meetings with Patrick for the most part, unless it's a full team meeting, but I'm sure you've seen him rehabbing and all those kind of things. What are your thoughts about him getting to where he is? He's out there on the practice field, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that make Patrick great, but I think one of the things he would say, and I observe about him, is he's just ultra competitive, and he always has been. And I think if I think back to like my, ACL injuries in college, like in the mindset, it was just like, it was almost as a player, like how fast and how quickly can I get back? And I think he has like that mindset, like he just wants to be back. Obviously being smart, but he's just, he's a bull in a china shop when it comes to attacking the rehab, and him and Julie are getting after it. And so, he's a leader of this team. He's a leader of this organization. And so to see your leader, attack his work the way he does is inspiring.
Two more.
Drew, you're a chess guy, and by what you're saying, it seems that you, in the big picture, and in a general sense, you formulate potentially a lot of pieces to be moved around the defensive side. Would that be accurate?
I think Spags is the chess master, and we are the pieces on the board. He obviously has a Hall of Fame defensive career in this league, and does a lot of things with his players. One of the things I appreciate a lot about Spags is he develops a personal relationship with each guy, and then identifies what their strengths are, and then formulates that into his schemes. And puts his players in positions to be successful. You'll find some coordinators who are they're stubborn in a sense, and they want their players to kind of fit what they're doing, and maybe guys get put in positions to not be successful. But he's done a really, really nice job over the years of taking people's strengths and utilizing them to best serve our defense.
Last one, Nick Jacobs.
Yes. Drew, as one of the veterans on the squad, how do you go about instilling the mentality in these new guys and new additions to reach that championship caliber again?
Well, at first I think they got to know that you care about them. So, it's developing a personal relationship, learning where they're from, what makes them tick, what makes them go, hearing their story. And then it's just about pushing them. I think a lot of these guys, it's tough coming into this league and kind of finding your way and finding your routine and your rhythms. But these guys seem hungry, man. They're high energy, and we've got a really good staff in place that's going to kind of set their minds right. There's none of this, I'm first-round pick or I'm a high pick and I expect this. You got to come here and earn it, man. And they definitely embrace that. You see that in each of these guys. There's no entitlement, and I think that's what it takes to, have a championship caliber defense is you got to earn it, man, every single day. And the consistency we've seen out of the rookies so far is good.
Awesome. Thank you, Drew.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Well, you've had a good off-season. How's everything going for you?
Great, no complaints.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
How was the wedding?
Thank you. Oh, it was awesome. Probably one of the best days, if not the best day of my life. So it was awesome.
George, early thoughts on R. Mason, Peter, kind of integrating them in the group?
Those guys are great. You know, they're working hard. You could tell they love football. Right now, they're being like sponges. They're being coached hard. Not just the two of them, really all the rookies. They've been great. You know, they got some juice and all that stuff. So they're awesome additions, and they got some bright futures.
George, as a defensive line, how do you guys go about approaching being a pass rush that terrifies quarterbacks and offensive linemen going forward?
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, from my perspective, I always try to learn from my mistakes in the past, right? So looking at not just this past year, but the year before that, and trying to really improve on everything I can. And really for us, you know, I don't think it's a secret that it wasn't our best year as a D-line, and it wasn't, you know, our best year as a team. So just trying to do everything we can to you know, be as great of a defensive line as we can.
George, it seems like over the past couple of years, you've really improved just how quickly you get off the line of scrimmage. I wonder just what's gone into that, and then also separately, what you see from R. Mason initially, and
Yeah.
just that particular skill set.
Sure, that's a little two-parter, but for me, a lot of it's in the off-season training that I do, and a lot of it's really in the film study. You know, when I was a rookie, Frank Clark gave me some tips that have really helped me out throughout my career so far, and I'm really thankful that I've had great vets. Now I'm starting to reach that role. I'm only 25, but I feel old in here, so. But yeah, I had great vets, Carlos, Frank, I mean, Chris, obviously. So those guys helped me a lot, just seeing keys and how I can improve off-season training and all that kind of stuff too. And then R. Mason, you know, obviously he's got a lot of juice. You know, he's a body type that we really haven't had as much of around here. He's very fluid, he's very athletic, he's very explosive, and you know, he loves football, and he's trying to learn right now and trying to prove himself. So you know, him and all the rookies, they're great, and they like I said before, they got bright futures here.
When you see the draft and you see defensive,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, last time we did that turned out pretty good for us, right? So, yeah.
How much just, you mentioned juice and energy, especially with R. Mason, how much juice does that add to the room, knowing
Yeah.
you guys that they're hungry, they gotta learn, but.
It almost like reminds me a little bit, you know, of my draft class, because I feel like it was a pretty defensive heavy draft class, you know, similar to this year's, and yeah, it just gets me excited. And all those guys are great. They're humble. They want to work hard. You could tell they love football. So the front office and all the coaches did a great job with the picks. And you know, so far from what I've seen, they're going to be great.
George, you're not one to make excuses for what happened, but we saw you with the cast. We saw you with a brace. How nice is it now to be over that?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to you know to go into a season healthy and you know, not making excuses for anything that happened last year. You know, but you know, turning a new page, learning from everybody's mistakes last year, and trying to be the best version individually and then again as a team.
How much does that help you? I mean, how does it help you to have that free now? The hand?
You know, it helps, of course. So, but yeah, just you know, even having that, you know, just trying to be the best version of myself I could be every single day in practice and in the games too, of course.
Last one, Pete. Connected to Ashton since he was drafted. I guess what tells you maybe he's ready to even take a further step this year.
Yeah, Ashton's going to have a great role this year. You know, really excited about him and his development. You know, he could, you know, I told him this last year. You know, you're going to see a big jump in your game from your rookie year to your second year. It's like the biggest leap you could take, right? I remember myself, I was like, whoa, this is like almost like a different game, if you will. So everything moves a lot faster, and you could tell that he's there. You know, a lot is being asked of him right now, but he's ready for it. He's got a bright future. He's a really good player. He's going to be a great player, and you know, really happy for him. Obviously, he just got married, so that's awesome. And yeah, he's going to be great.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, George.